Okay, so I think this thing is recording. This is really exciting. I didn't think I would record this, but I'm gonna record it. So it's like a quintessential unboxing video. And Roger Vinci, I think that's how you say that. Roger, if you're watching this, thank you very much for making me a camshaft. This is really exciting. So I am building a 6-liter, kind of like an LQ9 build. It's a Gen 3 LS. I was looking all over for a camshaft. I went to of course, Comp Cams. I've used their cams before, and asked them some questions. I want a truck camshaft, and they do have a few truck camshafts, but I was really concerned with the ramp profile. This is something that does not come in the standard specs. Of course, you can know about lobe separation angle, duration, lift, but the profile itself is a little bit more of something like a closely guarded secret, perhaps. It's not something that's at least in the marketing. You don't get a picture of the profile. And so I spoke with Comp Cams, but I was real worried about that profile being too steep and perhaps wearing out the valve terrain prematurely, opening valves real quickly, slamming them shut, that sort of thing. So I called what's it called? Summit Racing. They make some what they call truck cams, and I really studied for many hours how to build power, like as a layman. Of course, I don't know everything as somebody would know who's got years of experience with this, but the Summit Racing cams kind of struck me as being a little generic, perhaps. They might do the trick. They might work really well. There wasn't a lot of information out there about them. But then I went ahead and I called Roger. I had been recommended him on a forum. Of course, I think a lot of people find him that way. And I asked him these questions as I do a bit of a novice, but I have some of the language in me, and told him what I wanted to do. And he explained to me about ramp angles, the metal itself, because not all blanks they carve cams out of are created equal. This is something I knew as well. I didn't want my lobes to prematurely wear down, which can happen. I want this to be like a forever truck build and super reliable when I'm off-road. And I'm going to be driving all over the continents. I don't want to be in some obscure place where I need like premium gas. I was able to feed him all of these things that I want to use the motor for in my truck. And he custom made a cam for it. Super cool. It took, I think the turnaround's pretty reasonable. Right now we're in a bit of a wild world, but he made the cam, and honest to God, this is no less expensive than buying a ready-made cam, like an off-the-shelf cam. It was the same price, if not a little cheaper. He also matched it, so this is the cam in here. I'm going to open that in just a moment. I actually want to get a towel or something to set under it. I'm super... I want to be super careful with these parts, a bit like surgeon might be. So he also custom matched. I don't know if he cut these or how that works, but I wanted a dual valve spring as well. So this dual valve spring is matched with his experience, which is vastly more than mine. He made it a set of valve springs that will work with this cam and what I am building. And I really love the idea of dual valve springs. I understand they provide more compressibility, more pressure with less bind. So you can move them. You get more travel out of the spring because you have fewer coils. It just spreads it over a wider space through the two springs. That's kind of a little hack I think they came at. Maybe there's all additional reasons for having dual valve springs. But one thing I don't know if people consider them for that I especially love, and this is very near to me because as I was disassembling and I'm rebuilding a set of used 317 LS heads, one of the springs was broken. Now, the way I think is if one of these springs breaks, which likely it won't, but what if one of these springs breaks, I have another spring kind of supporting that valve, so hopefully it doesn't damage the piston as much or at all, or damage the engine worse than it would if it was just a single valve spring, in which case it'd be hanging down there into the combustion chamber. So he made me those springs. This is just super cool. This is like Christmas. Oh, he gave me valve seals. I actually have valve seals. That's wonderful. He gave me some new valve seals. And these are, from what I understand, I think they're titanium valve retainers matched to this. And I do have to say, the spring setup was less expensive than it would have been to buy dual valve springs, which are super expensive. Yeah, it's all there. Super cool. I'm going to set the springs to the side here. And I'm going to open this cam. I hope that you can see the video. You can see the cam okay. I kind of positioned a couple things on the frame of my shot here. So hopefully it's within the video. This here, actually 1 second. I'm going to grab a towel or something to put that on. I got to find the pause button on my video. Actually, I'll just leave it run. Hang tight for a second there. Oh, gosh. So we're actually going to use a piece of my wardrobe. In the bachelor that I am, I have, and I can build motors like this because I don't have a wife or a boss to tell me otherwise yet. Okay. This is the necessary item. It's not cool unless it comes with a sticker. So I love that. I can put that on my toolbox or under the hood. I like those. That's always fun to have a sticker when you buy performance parts. Just be very, very careful I don't go through the packaging here. It's a pretty sharp knife. Set this, let's reposition some of these things here. There we go. And go through here. Put this over like so. And here we have it. And it is also, as he had mentioned, rifle drilled. So rifle drilled makes the cam a little less heavy. It should spin a little easier, I suppose. Not that the center of mass here, that's pretty well balanced. If you think of the center of gravity, it's been pretty good. And then, you know, I do have my original 5.3 liter camshaft, which we could kind of hold it next to and compare. So this does appear to be a very high quality piece here. And he said it would be compatible. You're going to want a Vinci. Alrighty, man, that's awesome. 562. We have a part number there, so they engraved that. You tear your motor down, as long as you don't have too much oil varnish, in which case you will just clean that off. You can tell what you had bought before. Jiminy. So what I have in this secret packaging here is a LS1, or otherwise I think it's an identical cam to the LQ9 cam. Let me open that really quick here. So this is a factory GM grind. The lift is under 500 thousandths, I believe. The ramp profiles, which you probably cannot tell with your eye, but they aren't so extreme that you have like a plateau at the top, which was kind of my concern with the XFI comp cam stuff. I thought I saw in the picture that it just came almost like straight up and across. Now that might be wonderful. That could probably work for sure in the short term, maybe in the long term, but it just really made me nervous. So this cam needs cleaned up a little bit, and then I think I'm going to sell it. Of course, it's an LQ9 cam, which I already said I think is very similar, the same as an LS1 cam from a Gen 3 LS motor. And then, just for the heck of it, here's one camshaft. And, does the factory rifle drill these? I think they do. Let me look. Yeah, so that just means there's a hole from the front to the back, or actually I did that backwards. Also, there's some, I don't know if these are oil drain backs. I don't know what that's. No, that's the back of the screw where your cam gear goes on. So that's interesting. I can see that machined out there as well as this camshaft here. Let's get the third camshaft. I'm absolutely decimating my packaging here. I made to store these. I have a small problem with this one. I don't know if anybody would want to buy it. I don't know if it would affect it. Maybe it would, I'm sure. But one of the cam lobes got chewed up a bit. So I suppose if you want to grind your own cam and have some sort of follower system to do that, you had a blank or another cam you want to steal part of this profile from, you could probably do that. But as you can see, this is the cylinder I blew up. I think that's number 7. And the event must have taken place when, I don't know if that's a smarter person would know if that's the exhaust or the intake, when that went kablooey on me. But this was coming out of a 240,000 mile, 5.3 liter LS engine from 2001. And honestly, it looks pretty reasonable. It's a bit oily. I just pulled it straight out. We have some quintessential, like marks here in our varnish, which this other one was just given to me by an engine builder, the LS1 LQ9 cam. This is an LM7 cam. I don't know the specs on it really because, be honest, it does not interest me. I never wanted a 5.3. I've always wanted to build a Tahoe in 3/4 ton configuration, or as close as I could get. And that would be this camshaft here, but it's never fun to put in the factory camshaft. So I don't know what happened here, if this had an oil pump issue, because we have intermittent marks here, like harmonic that was going on in the oil passages where the oil comes on here. So there's wear marks. I could mic that perhaps and find out, but of course in the light of full disclosure, I will be selling these and make note of those things, but probably they will be as is. So for those of you that want a real man's camshaft, just kidding, this is really cool to hold. I don't know much about the blanks, but this will be getting put into my new build, my 6 liter, and I'm hoping I can get some decent economy, nice power, and do the things I want to do. Improve upon the factory design. That's kind of the thought process for at least what I want to do. And that is it. Really excited to receive this. And thank you, Roger. If I ever go to Florida, I really need to see you make one of these in person. So I appreciate it greatly. And anybody else, it was really neat. Not very often do you call a company and ask for a product and you get to talk with the guy that actually makes it. So, Comp Camps, great customer service, Summit Racing as well. I suppose Jags, I didn't order more through Summit just because I got started with them, I guess. They're fantastic. And of course, I'm trying to steer away from Amazon.com simply because I like to support America, right? Whatever your thoughts are, I want to support my neighbors, my fellow patriots and that. And super cool, made in America to the bone here. These other ones, I don't know where GM has them made. Their supplier makes them. But anyways, if you would like to check these out, I'll put a link in the description below. I don't get a thing for doing that. And I hope you have a good time building your motor too. If you have any questions, of course, too, you can ask me. I won't have this together for a couple months at most. And I'll be tuning the engine with HP tuners and that, and wideband, which I have to install as well. A lot of stuff to get done before I can put this in. Additionally, I'm polishing my exhaust runners. I feel that's the side to get some gain. I don't want to have too much flow. I don't know if that creates issues, but the 317 heads seem to be pretty decent flow numbers. I don't remember off the top of my head. Of course, you can get the LS3 heads, which go on the 6.2 or 6.3? I can't remember the displacement. And those have a rectangular port on the Gen 3 and Gen 4, I believe. And those flow phenomenally well for a factory head. But, you know, I don't think I need those flow numbers for what I'm doing. And I want to keep my economy pretty reasonable. I don't have active fuel management or any of that sort of thing, and I don't want it. But, you know, if you have any questions, you're building an LS motor as well. I've really become quite familiar with the Gen 3 stuff. And, of course, Roger here at Vinci Cam, sorry if I say that wrong. I think I do say it correctly. I don't know. He knows way more than I could aspire to know. So give him a call. Very helpful guy. Thanks a lot, and I hope you enjoyed watching the video. How do I turn it off?